Legends tell of a secret item that is absolutely insane on Kha'Zix, and no, it's not the collector, okay? They say that once you get this item, you have the potential to eliminate life on Earth with just a sweep of your claws. What item am I talking about? Well, it's none other than Muramana. This item is absolutely nasty on Kha'Zix, and I think it's an extremely powerful item to use on the Bug Boy right now. Many Kha'Zix players, especially the high elo ones, swear by Muramana. It's been extremely good on Kha'Zix for a long time, but it's also one of those items that you either love or hate because it does take a while to actually come into effect. Me personally, I'm not entirely a huge fan of the Muramana until now. Boy oh boy, let me tell you, when it does power spike, it power spikes in a big way. And honestly, this item is probably the key to getting reliable one-shots in this tanky ass meta. Seriously, the damage you deal with this is incredible, and I wanted to do a video on it for a long time, and finally we get to, guys. But before we get into the game, if you could like the video, if you enjoy my content, it would mean a lot to me. Liking the video takes 2 seconds, helps my video reach more people. I'd really appreciate it, and that's about it. So, without further ado, let's get into this Muramana Kha'Zix game. Alright, here we go. This is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. It's a Muramana game with the tier. We're going to be doing some crying with the good old tier of the goddess. Now, this was a pretty good game. I thought it was really awesome to play, and I thought it perfectly shows how strong the Muramana is once you actually get it. And yeah, just overall, I wanted to finally do a video on this item because a lot of high elo Kha'Zix mains swear by this item, and a lot of Kha'Zix mains in general just swear by Muramana on the champ, and it has always been a fantastic item for Kha'Zix, and this video will hopefully show you why. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great. I normally don't like Muramana because of how long it takes to actually get going, but there's a lot of things that go into that you take into account with buying that item, and overall I just think it's really nice and really worth in this meta in particular, actually. So yeah. Alright, so opening up with the standard full clear, you know how it is. If you don't know how to clear, just watch the way I do it. That's just it, man. I've done this 6,500 times. Yep, that's a real number. And and yeah, like, it's just as simple as that. I got a full clear, man. Especially when you're going for the tier playstyle, you kind of want to be farming a lot and just kind of trying to do your best to scale. I mean, the tier just plays perfectly into Kha'Zix's playstyle in that regard, because generally he's kind of weak early and you want to wait a little bit and try and scale with some items, and you know, the Muramana is just fantastic in terms of doing that. So finish our full clear, and looks like the Jace is walking up a little bit. There is a huge wave here, so I'm kind of skeptical about ganking this, but I'm going to be able to walk up behind him. Unfortunately, the taunt misses. We're going to jump on him, get a huge isolation damage off, and then Shen is going to flash onto him for the grasp kill. However, Bel'Veth comes along. She almost kills me. I try flash out, but she actually hits the W, but the Shen, absolute madman, is going to get his taunt off cooldown, and he's going to last second taunt the Bel'Veth, and we both live, and Shen picks up a double kill. So, best case scenario there, Shen played it like a madman. Just lucky he got that taunt off at the last second. And with that, a very good start to the game. We recall and pick up double longsword, as well as a tier. So, that will pretty much cost you the same amount as a serrated dirk, right? I think that's, yeah, pretty much the same amount of gold. But the issue is that you're not getting the serrated dirk early. So you're kind of sacrificing a little bit of power in your early levels in exchange for a huge power spike later. But I see the Bel'Veth here, and I'm like, oh, well, okay. We're going to jump on her because she used all her dashes and shit, and I can generally beat her 1v1 at this point in isolation. We're going to be able to do that just fine. Mr. W and all that stuff, you know how it is. Yep, we just suck with W. And just like that, a very solid early game. Pick up a kill for ourselves. Bel'Veth kind of... I would be very tilted if I was Bel'Veth, for sure. But keep in mind, Bel'Veth is still a pretty threatening champion to deal with, as Kha'Zix should not be underestimated for sure. But we do have a good lead against her now, so we don't need to worry too much. Now, this team is generally pretty... I mean, on paper, it's pretty simple to play around, right? However, there is one or two revealing abilities on the enemy team, which is the Kled Q and the Karma W. So we have to be very careful not to get revealed in this game. And honestly, that's one of the main concerns I have against Kled, is that he will always reveal you if you get hit by the Q. So if you can, possibly do your best to avoid that. Fortunately, Fizz is going to go down. But Bel'Veth is trying to gank Shen yet again. But I'm here with the Blast Cone. Shen is going to be staying alive. I tell him to walk towards me. I jump over the wall, find the Bel'Veth. And then Shen is going to go down, unfortunately. But I see the Jace here in ISO. And he's low enough to finish off with an isolated Q. Juicy. Wow. We're getting a lot of KP from this top and jungler. Very, very good. 2-0-3 already. And we can see a ward getting dropped here. So I'm just going to back out of my jungle because we know the Kled's here. I don't want to take any risks. So we're just going to go ahead and recall. Or are we? Nope. I decide that I actually want to get the Krugs because I just wanted to put them on cooldown. I don't really give a shit if this is warded now because now we see the Kled in the mid lane and we know that we can take this very easily. But yeah, this is probably the best possible start you could have for a tier Kha'Zix. It's extremely fortunate that we managed to get all these kills. It's totally fine if we didn't. It just means that we won't be snowballing as hard. But the fact that we get 5 KP right off the bat and get 5 stacks of eyeball collection, it's enormous. Now for the runes, I mean I didn't touch on that, but it's just standard first strike. You want first strike so that you can get the tier and you can get money for your Manamune. It's very important. But yeah, for this evolution, we're going to be doing Q Evo. All of the evolutions are perfectly fine with the Muramana. But I decided to go Q here just purely situationally. It's just because I wanted Q to make sure I could 1v1 the Bel'Veth at all times. And I wanted to just have that extra damage output and just be able to clear faster. Just individual prowess, you know? That's just why I evolved Q here. And that's about it. Didn't want to go the R evolve. Not just yet anyway. So in the meantime, we're just going to run down and we're starting to take our bot side camps. But I see the Bel'Veth here. She's in the river. And I'm wondering, well, what could she possibly be doing in the river? She's either going bot or she's taking the dragon. And I see her pet here. That's her pet right there. Or is that mine? Wait, is that my pet? I can't fucking tell. That's my pet. Okay. My pet was just running up for no reason. My pet was running up and checking the dragon. I was like, wait, what? What the fuck? What's it doing? But yeah, it turns out she was bot lane. So a little bit of a waste of time there. I just wanted to be around in case the Bel'Veth did actually manage to get something off. But generally, my bot lane is quite a safe lane. Unless it gets solo killed somehow. Or poked out in lane or whatever. Tristana Lulu, I feel like is pretty decently safe. Keep in mind we're versing a Nico, which is pretty rare. But let me tell you, Nico is so frustrating to play against. Especially as a reset assassin. Well, not a reset assassin, but like a, you know, an assassin, because you have to kind of decide when and when to not go in, and sometimes Nico can fuck with your head. It's a bit annoying. But totally fine. So my plan here was to just kind of path up and get ready to try and contest Herald. I could actually recall now and get my mythic and then contest, but I actually see the Bel'Veth here doing the crab, so I'm immediately going to jump on her. And I can destroy her very easily, but unfortunately Kled is going to get the ulti off. And I get knocked up, but the Shannon comes through. We're going to kill the Bel'Veth. And then we're going to knock Kled off his mount. He's going to flash out. I want to continue this, but I get... Oh, it's really unfortunate because I get blasted by the Jace. And then I'm going to get shotgun to the face by Kled. And then he's going to kill me. And then he's going to get his mount back on the Fizz. And he's going to kill the Fizz. And overall, that was just super unfortunate. The fact that I got blasted by... what's his name? Jace there. Yeah. Made me low enough to the point where Kled could easily just mop me up. And yeah, I guess I shouldn't have chased him because, you know, I totally forgot about the Kled mount being a thing. But, you know, seeing as he just dismounted, I was like, okay, well, he's probably not going to get his mount back, right? But nope, he does. And yeah, works out really badly. So now the Kled is actually really, really strong. And that's troublesome because, well, he's just, you know, he's one of the champs that can reveal us. So yeah. But Bel'Veth's going to get extremely greedy, and she expects us to not be up here, I guess, but we're up here. I still wanted to go for Herald, when, like, the plan has not changed. We're going to still try and go for the Herald, and we're going to punish her for trying to take that. And then we're going to be able to take it away quite easily. And Bob's your uncle, mate. I'm going to pick that up and deny Belveth the Herald, which is pretty huge, because then she doesn't get that that ulti form and the big, you know, minion, you know, Zerg swarm thing that she normally does. Shen taunt comes out here. Very good setup for my gank here. Wanted to look top again. It's just a very good gank lane for me, because Jace is always going to be walking up to the Shen to try and poke and stuff. So he's going to be in taunt range, like, I mean, pretty often. If the Jace doesn't space well. And just like that, we're able to pick up another kill. 4th kill. We see the Belveth here. I'm going to hang around just because I need to protect this Shen. The Kled misses his E, so he's going to be forced to back off. And yeah, overall, very, very nice. Shen gets out scot-free. Juicy. Now we're just slowly progressing towards the Muramana now. Pretty decent stacking as far as time goes. I think by 11 minutes, 200 is pretty good. I mean, I've been playing a few games with the Muramana, and I normally see that the time I get it at is around maybe 18 to 20 minutes. I mean, if you're playing a really stompy game, then you won't actually need the Muramana, but it's just so fucking good when you get it. And it really makes a huge difference in terms of your damage. So even if you get it at 18 minutes, like it's totally fine if it's a more drawn out game. But yeah, that's all I'm doing here. I'm just clearing. Now, I could normally just back and go for another Dirk, and that would be a really nice power spike, but I'm playing for the Muramana, so I don't really give a shit, and I'm just gonna wait and be on the map instead. Me and Fizz are gonna come down here. Everyone's missing, that's why we thought something was gonna happen bot lane, but nothing is gonna happen. And turns out that was warded too, so there's that. And I'm just gonna say, like, fuck it, whatever, let's just do the dragon. I do have isolated Q damage with my evolve Q. I mean DPS, sorry. Yeah, increased DPS with Evo Q. Enemy team is going to try and contest this, but I managed to get it because of evolve Q. That's really just because of evolve Q allowing me to DPS it down. But they're going to continue to try and chase me here. I try and fake out an engage here, but these guys are just AI. They don't fall for it. But I am going to be able to get out just by using my Void Assault move speed, and that is perfectly fine. Now we're going to try and just progress towards the Muramana. We're very close. I mean, I think we're close to it, right? I think the combined cost right here is about 2,400. So I'm trying to look for that. Belveth's in the lane. A bit of a fight's going to break out here. My Lulu's going to get caught out, unfortunately going to die. But my team is going to collapse. I don't really want to jump in here. I don't have my R. I have to be extremely careful. But then the Kled jumps on me. I try to chunk him down just a little bit. But that's really all I can do after I get jumped on. He absolutely destroys me. He's very strong, so not all too much I can do. And in the meantime, I'm like, okay, fuck it. I need to make the most of this time I have here. I don't want to die to the Gromp, so I just let it reset. And I just want to make sure I get the heal off it so that I can continue doing the other camps, aka my blue. But yeah, with that, I think it was a 1-for-1 trade. Not too bad for my team. I didn't really manage to contribute much there, but it's totally fine. And now I believe I have the Muramana. Just a little bit more gold. I decide I have to wait for it. So yeah, with Futures Market, we're able to get it pretty nicely. That's the good thing about having First Strike, right? You have access to Futures Market, which in this case is going to allow me to buy the Muramana despite being just a little bit behind in the gold department. But yeah, there we go, Muramana. Sorry, Manamune. This is Manamune. We just need about 100 more stacks, and then we'll have the upgraded version. And once we get that, man oh man, it's just so nice. Yeah, so typically I don't place a huge emphasis on this item, like I've been saying. But the fact that Kha'Zix is just, I mean, the fact that lethality is just a bit mid right now because everyone has so much armor is just, I mean, it plays more into, I mean, it really encourages the Muramana buy, in my opinion. But yeah, Shen is going to get dropped here. Where did I drop that? That was me dropping the Herald, right? Yeah, so that Herald's not going to do shit, unfortunate. I'm going to see a good chance to go in and swoop up the Jace here. And now this is, what follows is really unfortunate. I get knocked up by Belveth, which was expected. I could have dodged it. I definitely could have dodged it and flashed out, but I actually figured I would be fine. The issue is that I got revealed by the Kled Q, and that's what I was saying before. Like, getting revealed by this Kled Q is the most frustrating thing ever. So I normally would have been fine, even if the Kled Q didn't reveal, so long as I, you know, use my Void Assault there, move towards the tower, towards Fizz, and I had Flash as well. I could have gotten out very comfortably, but because that goddamn reveal allowed Kled to auto me, and yeah, I just get dropped. Unlucky. So at that point I was like, okay, yep, fuck reveals, fuck reveal abilities. Yeah, that's gonna be hell for me. So I need to make sure I don't get too close to Kled, unless he, you know, unless he's used abilities and stuff. Afterwards, like, should be a little bit more manageable, but yeah. So Bel'Veth is top yet again. He's gonna look for the Fizz. I'm gonna be here though. I'm gonna get a Q, get some damage off, but the damage reduction is crazy. But we're going to re-engage with the Shen. I can flash EQ auto attack on the Bel'Veth, apply some slows, manage to shut her down with the W, and then my team is going to pick up the Jace. Very nice. Good counter. It's very nice having a Shen around. I enjoy playing with Shens, especially good ones. I feel like it's kind of difficult to play Shen. I know it sounds crazy, but as simple as the champion is, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to play him. But this guy's ultis are very good, and he played the lane really well. And just overall, he's been playing like a monster. Very, very good Shen player, in my opinion. But yeah, he's an absolute Chad. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the bot lane, and I have options here. I can go roam down, or I can go mid here, and, you know, get something that's really, really reliable, which is all this farm. And I also have Herald, which means I can take this tower too. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get all this wave, get level 11 off that too, and then I'm going to get the Herald down and take this tower. So that should be totally fine. Not really worried about this Bel'Veth, especially by herself. Look at that. Without isolation, I'm able to get her down to half health, and Herald helps me out there too. Thank you, Herald. And we evolve the R second, so, you know, listen, guys. A lot of people ask me about evolutions in the comments, but I always explain, well, usually I explain what I run and why. So for the R evolve second, it's just to make sure I'm surviving more in fights and making sure that I can play more extended against these bruises. That's basically it. I can't run E-evolve reliably here because, I mean, it's very risky jumping into this team, so having the extra stealth and being able to walk up while holding my leap is extremely good. That's why I run the R-Evolve here, just for that enhanced fighting potential. That's basically it. So Lulu's gonna get caught here. She's totally fine though. And after taking that dragon, taking our camps, we're gonna recall. Next item will be the Serotas, and the boots as well. So what was I gonna say? Right, why not LDR, right? I could definitely run LDR here, don't get me wrong. 100% could run LDR, especially against the Kled, because he's got... Actually, he doesn't have much health, but he has a lot of base health. Team is actually relatively squishy, and none of these champs tend to build health. So, that's why I'm running Serotas here, instead of the LDR. There's not many champs in this game that will just absolutely tank up and become, like, super healthy. And that's what LDR is good for. No one is building health here, for the most part. So we run the Serotas and get that ability haste. And generally, Serotas is just really nice with the ability haste. Like, it's just great. It's more DPS for your Q as well, so keep that in mind. Well, I mean, yeah. Serotas, super reliable, can't go wrong. Okay, I see a good opportunity. From the Fog of War, I use my R-Evolve. Take a look at that Muramana damage. We finally got it. And then the Nico's gonna ulti because she thinks I'm going in on her. I try and back off because Bel'Veth and Kled are collapsing. I don't want to get caught in there. Tristana gets caught instead. I'm using my evolved Q range to kind of apply some good damage with the Muramana and the increased range from evolved Q. But nothing else is going to come out of that. But you can see the insanity that is Muramana there. Insane damage, like really, really crazy. Imagine if we ran Dark Harvest and, you know, Abs Gathering Storm with this setup. We'd pretty much just be exploding people left and right. We could even run Prowler's Claw, that would be amazing as well, but you know how Eclipse is just very, very good into this meta, especially against the bruises. That's why I'm running that. But I see the Jace here. This is a good opportunity here. I sneak into the lane as he's clearing it. I don't manage to get the slow off, but I do get the blue smite off, which is fine. Get some damage off, and then Shen's gonna chaos with the taunt. I'm not gonna lie, I would have liked that, but it is what it is. Totally fine. Now we're gonna recall and get these Ceruldas. So this is an enormous 3-item power spike. Arguably the best 3-item power spike in the game for Kha'Zix, in my opinion. It is just so damn strong. You will absolutely melt everything in front of you with the armor pen from Eclipse Ceruldas and the Mirror Mana. It's just fucking iconic, and you'll see why. I think the reason I enjoy Mirror Mana so much at the moment is because it actually lets you get the one-shot off. For lethality, it's kind of rare for you to get one-shots off unless they're extremely squishy. But with the Mirror Mana, you can even one-tap straight-up bruises like the Bel'Veth, for example, and even the Kled. It's just enormous damage, and I highly recommend you try this out. Mirror Mana isn't for everyone, but I do think it can be for everyone. Like take me for example. I'm not a Mirror Mana person, but this item is just so fucking strong, and it has been on Kha'Zix for ages, that like you need to give it a try and kind of, you know, at least understand how strong it is once you actually get it. And it's not like the base Manamune is totally fine too, because you get a huge chunk of AD from it too. So like it's not like it's a bad item even when it's not upgraded. So you still get a pretty decent power spike. Anyway, this is a terrible play. I tried to go on the Bel'Veth here, but the damage reduction, I'm not going to kill her. That's Nico, by the way. We absolutely explode her, get the one-shot off, even without first strike. And then the Kled's going to be isolated. Explode the Kled too. Take a look at the damage, guys. It's insanity. Yeah, I played that bad after taking the Hexscape, for sure. I missed my jump over the wall. Don't know how that happened, but I had to flash out. But it actually ends up being really, really good for us. And we're going to be able to start pressuring the Baron here. 2 of the enemy team are dead. The most fed person on the team is dead, which is the Kled. He's fucking dead. We're making some rhymes here. 2, you know, we're spamming the Baron, trying to take it down. We don't have smite yet. It's up in 6 seconds, but totally fine. I'm being forced to tank it because my Shen's not here, and this sucks because I'm going to be dropping very low, but the Lulu shield's going to keep me alive. Bel'Veth is still alive, so we might have to turn this in case she tries to steal. Nico's going to be playing with our mines here. Jace gets a good engage. I'm trying to jump on the Bel'Veth here, but the damage reduction is going to go crazy. I would have died there if it weren't for her getting CC'd. So yeah, overall just very unfortunate fight. Kled's going to go forward, try and, you know, re-engage, but look at that damage, going to knock him off his mount straight away. We jump back in, explode him with the fizz. He's going to go down again, and then we're too low to do anything else, so we're going to recall. Insanity damage! Can everyone see it? I hope everyone can see just the ridiculous damage that this item does. I mean, it's just so consistent and reliable. Like, holy shit, man. And the good thing as well, a nice quality of life thing is that you don't run out of mana, so that's nice. But yeah, the main thing is the damage. Just super fucking nice, and yeah, it just makes way for one-shots, baby. Yeah, so good, so good. Imagine if we had W Evolve. I think honestly, if I were to run W Evolve against this team, it would be a lot more consistent, but I did go for the Q Evo and I wanted the R Evo. So yeah, there's that. Honestly, maybe QW was the right play this game, but whatever, it's fine. This is terrible. I mean, like, I expected Tristana to do more damage than that, so I miscalculated by about 13 damage, and because of that, the Karma steals it. Very tragic. I was basing my smite off of the Tristana auto because I knew it was going to get it down low enough. Except it didn't, and so we lose the 3rd dragon for us. That's actually really bad because it delays our soul. Totally tragic. Just absolutely tragic there. And this is like kind of the point in the game where I actually start throwing. So, yeah. The state of the game becomes harder and harder for me to play, just because like they start grouping and there's a bunch of CC and annoying abilities that I need to avoid. I look for an engage here. I get a huge chunk of damage off on the Bel'Veth, chunk it to half health, but nothing else is going to happen there. And at this point, I'm just trying to use my Void Assault to make good picks, but I mean, that's just not enough. We don't do enough damage because she's got all this defensive stuff and her team around her. Shen, on the other hand, gets shut down by the Jace, so that sucks. And yeah, it just goes to show, like, even though you're super fed and you're rolling over the enemy team, it doesn't matter because the durability update gives people more of a chance to come back, especially if you're like not an assassin. Like, assassins are so unforgiving in this meta, it's crazy. So you need to always be on your game. You can never throw in this meta because, well, people don't fucking die. So the game could turn around in an instant, and this is where the game gets slightly harder for me. But yeah, I'm still looking for picks. I want to jump on this Bel'Veth here. I do so. I explode her. Shen on me. We're going to try and get him in range. Not going to be enough. I try and get close to the Bel'Veth. But I'm going to get Nico ulted. Unfortunate. She's still so low. She gets Tristana bombed, but she's going to live off that. Really, really tragic. Can't really do too much there. And now it's an ARAM. Baron is going to be pinged. Although I'm not really too sure about this one. If anything, we try and turn. And that's the play there. I really want to turn this. I don't want to like go on the Baron in 50-50 it. Karma gets caught out of position. I'm going to jump on her in isolation, pick up the kill. And then we're going to run back. And maybe we start the Baron now? Maybe. No, I still don't want to. I want to turn because team is still up. And I pick a good fight. It turns out Kled's in the bush, so I'm here by myself. I'm in a 1v3 scenario. I do pick up the Jace, but the Bel'Veth's going to kill me while I'm invis. Really tragic that that is an interaction, but I mean, I guess it's balanced. But the Kled's going to go down because he was in a 1v3 himself, so yeah, a bit unfortunate that he was just in the bush there. Otherwise, I would have peeled back with my team and not have gone on the Jace, but my mind was just like, okay, we go on Jace. And as I jumped, the Kled went in. So yeah, really unfortunate that I get caught out there. But my team is going to be able to keep pushing, get that tower. And yeah, we do pick up the Ghostblade as well. This Ghostblade is going to just boost our damage even more with the lethality, and also the move speed is going to be great for assassinating. Yeah, so the only issue I have with the Moon Runner is that, well, for one thing, it takes a while to get going. But that's totally fine in my opinion. I find that the power curve is quite similar to Ghostblade, and lethality is not all that great anyway, so who the fuck cares if you don't have it. And the second thing is that I find myself wanting another item slot because I really value Hydra in the late game for the wave clear and just overall well-roundedness. But with the Muramana, you don't have space for the Hydra unless you ditch one of your lethality items. So you gotta make a choice, you know, is it ditch a lethality item for Hydra or play without Edge of Night or Yumu's? Yeah, it's either play without Edge or Yumu's, or run the Hydra and just go fucking, you know, make insane damage, but you miss out on the utility of one of the other items. Or you can just ditch the Hydra and run both of the lethality items, but, you know. Choices. Anyway, Kled gets caught out here, nothing much to say. He gets deleted off the map, and then we're going to decide to go for the Baron. This is pretty nice because the Kled's dead, the most important person to kill in my opinion. But enemy team decides that, fuck it, we can't contest the Baron, so we're just going to push down the lanes, and honestly, pretty smart play. Everyone's going to recall now. I evolve my wings, and immediately I want to turn and start a fight here because the enemy team doesn't have their Kled, and these guys are caught out of position. I'm going to look for an engage. I evolve in. These guys are not isolated, which sucks, so I'm going to be playing it extremely safe. Keep in mind, reveal on Karma, and Bel'Veth is actually quite a menace here. I just get destroyed. That's fucking Nico. Really unfortunate. And, you know, I just keep falling for it. I don't know why I thought that was Jace, because we know Jace is bot side, but... man, unfortunate, man. Yeah. Quite a confusing team to play against, but my team's got it. Shen is going to go absolutely crazy. He's doing a lot of damage, and Fizz is going to help him out there as well. Unfortunately, he goes down, but here comes the Kled. Jumps straight on the Lulu. Lulu's going to go down. She's going to go down. Yep. Unlucky, man. Unlucky. I got to play these fights better, because, well, it's just, yeah. I don't know. I'm getting confused by Nico and all these champs. I'm kind of getting baited by expecting Muramana to completely explode people, and then I can get resets off that, but you know, enemy team is pretty tanky, and we just gotta, you know, keep playing Kha'Zix the way he's intended. Not walk up too much, play very safe, and jump in when the time is right. And yeah. So I'm gonna try and walk down here, but it's not gonna be enough. The Nico zones me off, but Kled ISO here. Explosion of damage. Nico's gonna ulti. Can't continue that. Unfortunate. But take a look at the damage. And take a look at that double jump. I tried to get the double jump off, but nothing comes of it. Which is unlucky, but what can you do? And with that, I'm just gonna be like, hey, okay, let's take our camps, but my team is pushing, so I want to be around for that. We do have the Baron buff still with the Shen, so we try and take down this inhibitor. Ideally, I'm not the greatest in this scenario, but I see the Bel'Veth walking up. He's gonna dash out though. Explosion of damage yet again. We're just with a single Q and Eclipse proc. Just nasty damage. But we are gonna be able to take down this tower pretty nicely, and then I make the worst decision possible in the game. Who the fuck was I going for there? No idea. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. That was the worst play ever. Don't ever do that, by the way. Play your sieges slowly. Not like that. Do not fucking jump in like that. This is the worst possible thing I could have done in that scenario. And because of that, my entire team dies. And now, we are on 40-second death timers with an open inhibitor. Do you know what that means? It means we just lost the fucking game. We just lost the game, guys. I don't believe it. I'm so tragically sad. Tragically sad? Is that a thing? Yeah, I guess so. I'm like, yeah, enormous throw by me. That's what I was saying. Like, enormous throw. Did not have to do that. All I needed to do was just sit back, wait for my team. But now the enemy team's trying to knock down the base. Fizz is by himself. He's going to try to do what he can. He's going to Zhonya's, but he's going to go down here. Jokes, he's going to flash out, get his E off. He's going to go down. Enemy team has no minions, but I'm going to respawn. I'm going to R-evolve in. Everyone's fucking low. I see the Kled. Jump on the Kled. Kill Kled. Bel'Veth ulti. Unlucky. Jump on the Karma. Kill the Karma. Find the Jace in isolation. Kill the Jace. Enormous damage left and right, even without isolation. And we're going to just narrowly save the game because the enemy team didn't have minions. How fucking hilarious is that? Fizz, you're amazing. Fizz actually clutched the game there by killing the minions with his abilities, with his E, so that the enemy team couldn't get the bonus damage on the tower. Fucking legend. That was my bad entirely. But yeah, I'm going to skip over the next few minutes because there's not much that happens. It's actually very, back and forth stalemate. So, I mean, aside from that Bel'Veth kill, like, we just go for inhibs here, and then the rest of the game is pretty boring. Honestly, it's just kind of looking for picks until something interesting happens. So, I'm going to disengage here, and then we're going to reset and all that stuff, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, so how are we doing? We're going to pick up this dragon here, which is going to get us a third dragon, finally. And now, finally, a fight breaks out after moments of going back and forth. Doesn't look good for us here. I'm trying to look for a good opportunity to engage, and I find a decent chance. I want to go on the Bel'Veth here, but it's so hard to go on anyone here. And unfortunately, Jace is going to Zhonya's. I'm not able to get him. Bel'Veth is going fucking crazy here, but me and Tristana, I'm finally going to be able to get some good damage on her after she uses her damage reduction, and she's going to go down. We actually almost lost the game there, by the way. If we died, I feel like we could have lost the game very easily. But me and Tristana are going to clutch it out. I'm going to be able to take up our... take the Baron. And with that, it's like, it's so fucking close. Just because I made that one mistake in the enemy base. Which is tragic, but we're finally bringing it back after a few minutes. And get the Baron. I'm full build now, so this is pretty much the... I think this is pretty much the build you want to run. Like I said before, I enjoy Hydra, but like, which item would you sacrifice for Hydra? I don't want to give away Yumu's. It's probably the Edge of Night if you had to choose, but it just kind of depends on what utility you need. But for the most part, this is probably the build you are going to want to run. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now we're just trying to use the Baron and try and push into the base and end the game. That's pretty much all we need to do. 2 inhibs down, so we're going to push up the top side and hopefully get the third inhibitor down, and that will just completely open up the base. I'm gonna look for picks in the meantime, but it's so hard because all these fucking reveal abilities and the fact that the team is grouping all the time, I'm rarely finding opportunities for isolation. And to make matters worse, there's a clone going around all the time with Nico, and that denies isolation too. So yeah, just not really finding too many opportunities, but we're just gonna play with our team here, run it down. W evolve would be great here, not gonna lie, but it's whatever. We don't need it. We're just gonna run down here, let our team hit the tower, stay around in the fog, try and get some damage off there, jump out when it's not safe. Nico engage goes through, Pled in isolation there. I mean, look at that W damage, just insanity. Nico gets caught out here, finally find my chance, jump in, one-shot her, jump on the Belveth. Damage reduction is kind of broken, but we still deal a decent amount regardless with our team, and she's going to go down. And that is looking pretty damn good. I want to recall because I'm so low, but I'm going to stick around just because of my team. It looks like they're going to try and re-engage here, enemy team. I avoid assault forward, find the Karma in isolation. I try a double jump there, but he dies too fast, and then we're going to destroy the Jace with this damage. Is fucking crazy. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Give Muramana a try if you haven't. Definitely one of those really fucking good items on Ka, and I recommend you try it out in this meta. It's very good. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all the good shit, and I'll catch you later. See ya.